I think she probably let him stay there with the 3 kids, thinking that would change his mind. And what do we know, family? You can't change someone's mind. All right. Even living with someone in hopes that they'll change their mind. As a matter of fact, I think living with someone in hopes that they'll change their mind even makes it worse, because now they've got everything that they need without the commitment.
The house is mine, and there is 7 of it. We're a household of 7, essentially. I have my 2 boys and then my boyfriend with his 3 boys.
Well, I can tell you why he don't want to leave. He got it good. So she allowed a man with 3 kids to move into her house. Wow. I don't know if I would do that. Allow someone with 3 kids. It can be hard enough. Which also tells me that perhaps he does not have the income to support the 3 kids that he has, and that she perhaps has been allowing him to write off of her. Hey, I know we're jumping to conclusions, family, but we try to sort this stuff out as it goes along.
If I decided to sell my house, it would be because I want to pay off my debt, and it would bump me into baby step 4, 5, and 6. It would cause everybody to move.
So what? She's legally responsible, if I am correct, for her and her 2 children. The boy that she's playing house with, it sounds like this is her house, thank God. Okay, just makes things easier. The boyfriend and his 3 kids are his legal responsibility as far as we know.
And essentially my boyfriend would have to, do his thing, but he'd have to pay more out of pocket as well for his living situation. So selling my house would really only benefit me in this picture. And
why hasn't he married you yet?
He won't.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, right there, you have your answer. You leave. He's not your responsibility, and neither are the 3 kids. So unless her self-esteem is at a point where she doesn't feel like she can move on with her life without having the ball and chain, which in this case is the boyfriend, she's not responsible for him. I think she probably let him stay there with the 3 kids, thinking that would change his mind. And what do we know, family? You can't change someone's mind. All right. Even living with someone in hopes that they'll change their mind. As a matter of fact, I think living with someone in hopes that they'll change their mind even makes it worse, because now they've got everything that they need without the commitment. It's just a thought.
How long have you been together?
3.5 years.
Okay. He has forced you to take care of you. And so all you're doing is what a responsible adult would do when another adult says, I want to make a commitment with you. I want to play house, and I want to have all the benefits of being with you without commitment. And he's forcing you.
Well, no, I don't think he's forcing her. I think she's allowing it. I mean, she's allowing it. But if she sells the house, there's nothing he can do. Well, what's he going to do? He can't. If she was smart, and it sounds like she was at least this smart, I hope. Okay, he's not on this house. She can sell the house anytime she wants. There is nothing he can do about it. Now then, you have heard horror stories. I will say this. We have heard horror stories where someone is like a tenant in the house, and the homeowner will actually sell the house with the tenant in it. I guess he could try to claim that he and his sons are tenants, but even that's not saying stress-free, but there is a legal way to solve that. She would have to take him to court, have a formal eviction done, and then sell the house. Not saying it would be stress-free, family, but it is possible to do. Either way, the boyfriend's going to have to take care of his 3 kids. And if the boyfriend should all of a sudden have this change of heart and decide that he wants to marry her, I would be very, very suspicious about that. And I would say no, too little, too late. Because if the only condition of marriage was, oh my God, he might lose his meal ticket, which it sounds like she is, all right, then that tells me that the marriage proposal that he might do is really for himself and his kids, nothing to really do with them as a couple.
To have to take care of you as a single mom. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Your instincts are right. You're
Okay.
I mean, there's no John, stop me at any point. But in my mind,
No,
I'm like,
dude,
there's no together. There is no us.
Yeah.
So why do you want me to operate out of an us? You've made it very clear. And so
Mhm.
that's
I think part of the tears, it isn't, I mean, my first thought is, okay, you know, we have to put our big girl, you know, pants on and make decisions that affect the kids. But I'm sure part of the tears also is what she was hoping for, the fruition of the marriage that she was hoping for that would come out of the relationship. I'm sure part of the tears are for that because the relationship is not what she dreamt. I don't think, I might be jumping to conclusions saying that, you know, my initial thought, well, she's crying because she's too immature of an adult to realize this guy really doesn't want to marry her and she really needs to just get up and leave. I think that's part of the tears, but I'm sure a big part also is, you know, it's dreams and hopes lost, be gone.
kind of where I'm at. The two kids. So you said he's got 3 boys that are his and you've got 2 boys that are yours.
Yeah.
You guys have any children together?
No.
I'm glad about that because it would be even worse if they had kids together and he didn't want to be with her.
Listen,
No.
you know, this is a major red flag and I am,
Okay.
you know, for me, it's a no.
Brenda, there's something else going on. What is it?
Oh, John's getting ready to ask if she is safe.
No, it's just I think I just needed that validated. In talks that I've asked him to move out already, and he's just kind of ignored that request. So I'm just like, well, maybe I should sell my house. But
That's what I'm telling you. There's something else
I'm
going on here. What is
selfish
it? Is he safe?
I told you, John is going to ask if she is safe. Why is it that every call with the woman crying about some guy, John's always asking if she's safe? Do you ever, you know, if a guy calls in, I mean, he could probably say, and she's standing there holding a butcher knife, and John be like, well, go marry the woman, you know, that's what she wants you to do. Oh, you know, on this channel, we love John.
He's a bully.
Yeah, no, we're safe. We just don't. I mean, like you said, he hasn't committed. He won't commit. He's made comments that he will never put a ring on it. So I know that that's there.
Wait. He made comments. Hold on, family. Hold on. Let's hear that again.
He's made comments that he will never put a ring on it. So
okay, there's your answer right there. On this story, I will not say what relationship. Okay. Because at 57, I've had enough to make it difficult to pinpoint which one. But I look back on a relationship that I had years ago, and I said to the guy, I was having one of those moments of insecurities, you know, I need someone to just hold me and make me feel safe, yada, yada. Okay, this was decades ago, okay? Nothing recent, but decades ago. And I said to the guy, I asked the guy that is supposed to be my significant, I said, do you adore me? Now, keep in mind, I'm just having that moment of, you know, female insecurity and need a guy to say, you know, yes, you're the love of my life. You know what the guy told me? I said, do you adore me? His exact response was, and I quote, I don't adore anyone. And then a few years later, he left. Those signs are all there. The signs are in the words. Signs are in the actions. We just don't want to admit it. So if he already spoke the truth and said to her, I don't want to marry you, that's the answer.
I know that that's there.
But she can't accept it. And she's having a hard time accepting it. So she's going to allow this boyfriend, if she allows him to gaslight her and make her think that if she sells the house, puts him and his 3 children out, make them pay more for rent. Well, what she forgets is he's an adult. He was old enough to procreate with somebody else, right? there's at least one baby mama. There could be more, but that's really irrelevant. He's old enough to procreate with to have 3 other children. He can figure out housing for them. That is not her responsibility.
I just don't like the idea of moving and uprooting my children.
But you don't have to uproot
Again.
your family. You can call the police and have them remove somebody from your home.
Yeah.
No, we're not, it's not unsafe. It's not an unsafe
No.
situation.
Anybody
He's broken up with you. He won't leave.
Lots of people get evicted from their homes and they're not violent. They're not a danger to society. That has nothing to do with it. It simply is you're not supposed to be here. And family, in case you are not aware, I understand that we all want to be, I won't say do-gooders, but, we want to do the right thing. And oftentimes, you hear these horror stories of somebody takes someone else in. Could be a coworker, could be a casual friend, a friend of a friend's. They let someone into their house. Oh, I understand you're down on your luck. Stay with me for a couple of months. You have to be very careful because in almost every city in the United States, and I know here in Tampa, okay, for sure, after so many weeks, and we're not talking months, family, we're talking weeks, they become a legal resident of your place. Also, if you decide you're going to take that leap and allow someone to live in your house. And again, we're talking, this could be a totally platonic relationship, okay? It has nothing to do with dating. It's simply you letting someone come into your house and stay. Oh, yes, you can sleep on the couch. I've got a spare room, whatever, okay? Once you let them in, after so many days have passed, and it varies from cities to city, I'm going to say the average can be, it's going to be around a month, okay? I know this very, very well because I had a gal pal who had to deal with this, all right? It could be around a month or so. Check with your individual city. They become a legal tenant. Another thing, if you're going to do it, never, ever allow them to transfer their mail to your mailbox. Because once you have that legal transfer of mail, it's just as good as you saying, hey, they're a legal resident. Required that they get a P.O. box. They do not have any sort of access to your mailbox, your key mailbox, whatever. You have got to keep that separate. Even if you allow them to move in, do not allow them to have mail at your residence. These are just things that I've learned, just so you know.
That's a bully move. Like, I'm not saying that he's like screaming at you and beating you or something, but I'm saying that if I've asked a male to leave my home and he won't leave, it's because he knows, and you can't make me. That's after the ...
The attitude that he's trying to give is, and you can't make me, but actually she can make him. But she's going to have to require the force of the law. And this is where people who are bullies, and it doesn't matter if it's male or female. Okay, I could see a female to female relationship getting just as volatile. Okay, it's basically you can't make me unless you want to challenge me, and then you're going to challenge me with the law. This is why you got to be careful about letting people just simply move in. Here's the other thing. If she's the one with the house, and he came in with the 3 kids, this tells me, I could be wrong, but we'll go out on a limb, that socioeconomically, clearly, he is, from what we can assume the arrangement is, he socioeconomically is beneath her income. Don't misinterpret me. I'm not saying he's beneath her as a person. I'm saying just income-wise, he's socioeconomically beneath her when he moves into her house. And I can tell you, I've watched enough social media. All right. A lot of people, and it's just our fact of society. Okay. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. All right. A lot of people in our society where it's how big of a house do you live in? What type of car do you drive? How much money you make? Yada, yada. Okay. A lot of people really look down if a guy moves into a woman's place. But I think that's stupid because when my parents divorced and remarried, my outstanding late stepfather moved into my mother's house. You see, there shouldn't be that stigma, but there is. But there shouldn't be. Oh, and by the way, he moved in, lived with my mother. He was my math teacher, and they spent the next nearly 40 years together. So who moves into whose house is irrelevant. And that's how I was raised. Thank God.
I gotcha.
I have bigger muscles than you. You can't push me out of here.
Exactly.
And that's what 911 is for.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds ridiculous, but Jade and I do this for a living. deal with hot-headed
It
men that think
seems
they can push women
extreme.
around.
Yeah.
He has broken up with you.
He broke up with her long before this. You know, it really is true. Because I got divorced 9 years ago. It really is true. All the physical separation is, it's simply it's the final, or like all the divorces, it's the formal separation of the couple. The separation occurred a long time before, months, even years. I wouldn't say typically years in advance. She knew, not blaming her, but we have to take responsibility for our decisions, right? All right. She knew long before today's call. Remember, this ran like an hour ago. Okay. She knew long before today's call that this relationship was over. But she had to get to a point where at least she could make a phone call, and perhaps this is the first 12 step of admitting that the relationship's over. But remember, family, it's over long before the actual separation occurs. No divorce happens because somebody woke up one day, or separation happens because somebody woke up one day and said, hey, you know what? I think we'll just go ahead and end the relationship. No, it was on that path a long time ago. I have a personal rule. If I'm with somebody ever again, all right. Well, I mean, I hope to be with somebody ever again, but you follow me here, okay? The minute that person says to me, I think we should divorce, that will be the end of the relationship. Because it is my personal experience that when someone says divorce, it's already been on their mind. The emotions have already started to process. And me simply waiting many more years for it to happen is a waste of both of our times. People who really have no desire to divorce, that word's never going to come out of their mouth. Or even if they thinking about it, they know the ramifications of saying that word. So for me, if I'm ever with someone and they say, I think we should divorce, okay, say I get married again. The minute I hear that, no problem, we're done. Because no one says that without having already thought it, reflected on it, right? That's just how I feel about it. Oh, wait. Home with Love, weren't we here last night? Home with Love is in the house. Good morning. I hope the audio is much better today. It should be much, we should be on track with audio. By the way, if you guys ever hear me on a live stream and I sound like I'm talking through a tin can, tell me. It's not supposed to sound that way.
He has looked you in the eye and said, there is no future for us, but I'm going to live here. I'm going to get what I want when I want, and you're going to pay for my sons to grow up in your house.
Yeah, I think in his eyes, he hasn't broken up with me because he thinks everything's fine.
Oh, no, honey. No, this is Brenda in Phoenix, Arizona. No, Brenda. In his mind, he has broken up with you. He broke up with you when he said to you, I don't want to marry you anymore. The difference is he has accepted the living arrangement because it benefits him. He's already, he broke up with you when he said, I don't want to marry you. He is at zen and at one with that. I don't have any zen and at one music. I will work on that. He's already accepted it. You haven't accepted it. That's the problem. And that's why you're the one in tears crying on the phone, and he's probably having breakfast with the buddies after a basketball game at the YMCA.
Even though I'm the one telling him,
but do you see
I want him to move out.
Do you see the disrespect there, or the lack of even hearing or seeing you?
I definitely feel it.
Yeah.
Your gut's right.
Ladies, and I'm talking to the ladies, we have gotten, and we're not referring to all men, okay? But ladies, come on. We really, really do know when a guy doesn't want to be with us. It really does show. All the signs are there. I'm talking to the ladies. All right. And if you're a guy, and in today's day and age, you feel like you're a lady, hey, I'm talking to you too. Be you, boo-boo. But here's the bottom line. We already know. All right. We know when a guy tells us, the ex-boyfriend I had that said to me, like I told you, quote, "I don't adore you." I remember just being stunned about that, almost too speechless to speak, because I'd never had anyone tell me that. And then, he leaves a few years later. But the clues are already there. It's just we're trying so hard to go, oh, but maybe it'll work. Maybe. We're stupid. Yes, ladies, we can be stupid at times.
Okay.
You have two strangers validating you.
Oh, wait. I'm here.
Mouse? Well,
Come on. Is Mouse even?
been working today. Oh, you know what? Mouse is asleep, guys. Sorry. But Mouse. All right, Mouse would validate also if Mouse were awake. Actually, that's known as Squirrel.
But if you want to
appreciate
sell
that.
this house and get out of debt,
Mm-hmm.
we'll talk you through that.
Mhm.
But I don't want you
Okay.
selling your house to run away from him, because it's your house.
Well, I mean, financially, I should sell it as well.
Well, then sell the house, get out of debt. But I'm telling you, if he wants to play dirty, this type of guy that would do it, she's going to have him evicted first. Otherwise, he's going to claim that he's a tenant. And he can. Legally, he can claim that he's a tenant. And it doesn't matter if he's paid rent or mortgage or anything else. He's long beyond being a squatter. So if there are any new squatter laws going on in their state, that's worst case scenario. That's what my mother would say. What is the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to have to go to court, get a formal eviction, then you can sell the house.
The mortgage and housing expenses take up 50% of my
Ooh,
income.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Sell the house. Sell it.
So I just felt like if I sold it, I could pay off all my debt and
Done.
And then
move forward.
what will you do? Rent an apartment or rent a house?
I'd probably rent a house for 2 years.
Okay.
Don't move him in the house, whatever you do.
Or so.
Have you priced that
And-
out? Because rent is super high.
Especially in Phoenix.
It's right, but it's less than what I'm paying now.
How much
And
less?
I'd have, my mortgage is $3,400, so I can probably get a 3-bedroom house, I think, for $25,000.
Okay, that would be worth doing. 3,400 versus 25, even if you factor in house maintenance and stuff. Yeah, that would be worth it. Not like the call we heard yesterday, family, where there was only $100 difference between the mortgage and the rent.
Okay. And what's your take home
But
pay every month?
I grow. Take home. Well, I gross 100,000, so take home is probably 6,000, 6,500.
Okay.
Okay, now you see why you don't want to leave. That's why he doesn't want to leave. Oh, she is a paycheck. If the boyfriend grossed 100 grand, then guess what? The boyfriend would be fine leaving. He don't gross it. I sure hope she didn't pick him up at the bus stop. But do we see where the problem is now? He's got a huge paycheck that would be walking out. Even if he made good money, I mean, even if I'm a school teacher. Okay, so let's just say, he's a school teacher and he made 60,000. Okay, that's doable, tight, doable though, right? Modest lifestyle. I think we caught John when it looks like he's about ready to sneeze. But still, to have $100,000 gross income saying, I don't want you anymore. Ooh, it is what it is.
Yeah, I want you looking at those numbers really closely. We're going to set you up with every dollar so that you can see those numbers, because I want.
All right, folks, that is the end of today's live stream.